Multi-exclusive dimensional being card with another exclusive. Today's video is going to be about Mercury and Aries. Now, what is Mercury? Now, Mercury is your mind, your intellect, the way you think, the way you communicate, the way you interact, the way you socialize, your surroundings. Now, if it wasn't for Mercury, you wouldn't have a mental, aka a mind, for you to be able to actually communicate or interact. Now, what is Aries? Aries is the ram, the first zodiac sign of astrology, which is spring, equinox, of course, March 21st, which is the actual year, the new year of the new beginnings, where you start to see the flowers blossom, where you start to see the colorful skies, where you start to see the temperatures rise. So, of course, and that's where the equinox begins with when we're talking about Aries. Now, Mercury in Aries, this is pretty much a powerful position right here. Feel me? Now, if you have a Mercury in Aries, you have a gift. Because, of course, when Mercury puts its position in Aries, that means you are very high minded, which means you already know yourself, which means you think highly about yourself. So, of course, this is going to put you in a leadership role. And what is leadership? Leading by example, leading by ships, of course. Now, when you have a ship, you're sailing, you're traveling. So, of course, now when you have Mercury in Aries, you get to travel, you get to expand, you get to express what's on your mind. And of course, this is a fast thinking process right here. Because of course, you accumulate an idea so quick that you know that's fire. Now, what is fire? Fire is hot. Fire is temperamental. So of course, your mind is constantly on fire. Your intellect is constantly on fire. Ideas is constantly running in your head. Because of course, when you have fire, that's the imagination. Now, imaginations come and they go. And of course, Aries, sometimes they may be able to accumulate these ideas, and these ideas may be moving too damn fast. So of course, you have to take your time. Even though this zodiac sign don't really deal with the details, they like to just pretty much jump and dive right into things because they have ego. Of course, they have willpower, they have strength. That's called the I am. I am this. Now, I am is very powerful because the I represents the entity, the A represents the persona, and of course, the M will represent you as a person, which is you rising. So, of course, you're gonna pretty much rise in scenarios. You're gonna rise through circumstances and situations. Feel me? These people are very highly considered wonderful people because they have the mind and intellect of actually having whatever on their mind, expressing it. Feel me? Where they don't really take time to look at the details or look at books. They look at these things like these things don't really mean anything to me, and of course, I already know everything already. So of course, once you train your mind to put yourself in that predicament, your mind can be able to actually channel these energies. And of course, we have all houses, we have all spaces. So of course, depending on the house you have Aries in, when you have it in Mercury and Aries, depending on what kind of positions you have, these are where you need to pay attention to. So of course, if you have Mercury and Aries, but your Mercury is in the third house, you need to pretty much express your passion, motivation, dedication, and your surroundings. People that you're familiar with, people that you see on a day-to-day basis. You could be like a Jesus Christ figure, or AKA you could be a preacher, a teacher, where you can teach your surroundings, your environment to pretty much better product themselves or pretty much better carry themselves. So of course, that's like one of the examples, prime examples that you will utilize when you got Mercury and Aries. So of course, when you have Mercury and Aries, feel me? This is passion. This is a mental passion right here. And of course, Mercury and Aries people can burn out very fast too because they're constantly in a war with their ideas of what to say, what's the best route to take for me. Because these ideas is for me coming like a yin yang. For me, it's like a yin and yang type of thing. For me, these ideas get birthed out, and these ideas the ideas become into birth, and these ideas can be pushed out. So these ideas need to be hurry up and used because the fire like to keep moving, initiating new ways on how to think and feel and see themselves in this world, in this reality. So these people are on a constant day-to-day routine pattern when it comes to self-expression. For me, and they're very impulsive. What they think in communication, which means they can be very impulsive. They can say some shit, boom. They don't won't even think twice about like the situation. For me, it'll just pretty much just come off hand. Like it's like so much fire built into you to the point where you can't really hold on to that shit. You just gotta let that shit go. Feel me? That's like taking the idea and exalting it, and of course, making it furious and pushing it out and expressing it. Feel me? That's plays out into all magnitudes, into all circumstances and situations. Feel me? Because this is like a constant process that you gotta pretty much deal with. Feel me? A lot of people can deal with this. A lot of people may not be able to actually deal with this, especially when, of course, when you have people in the groups, you may have to take your time with things too, because not everybody is on your level as far as accumulating things so quickly or picking up or trying to piggyback off of the concepts and initiatives that you pretty much push out on a day-to-day basis. Some people it takes them very hard for them to accumulate and put that in a box. So of course, that's where the perception comes into. Aries will put themselves in a position where everybody, they would pretty much put themselves in a circumstance situation that whatever they say, everybody is going to agree upon. And for me, that could be true to a certain extent, but not everybody may not be, for me, intertwined with these thoughts or these ideas and these concepts that they pretty much put out. So this is where the conflict can come into cross, and this is where things can get very heated up, and this is where relationships and circumstances, situations can play out as to where things is not really formulating into a right direction. Feel me? That's like putting yourself in a position where you already say something, and of course, whatever somebody's saying to you, you are pretty much digesting these ideas and concepts so fast, and you already have your mind made up as far as what you're gonna say. When this person try to like pretty much come at you or pretty much share their entrance or share their perspective, for me, you really don't care about the shit. All you care about is the action, taking action on these ideas. How you gonna express these ideas? How you gonna pretty much puzzle these ideas and piece these ideas and map these ideas so other people can be able to actually take part into these possessions. And of course, you're not a person that pretty much wait around beating around the bush. You don't like motherfuckers that take their time. Like you like motherfuckers that pretty much can like pretty much add up. For me, just get straight into the equation. What are you holding behind the scene? Cat got your throat, cat got your tongue. What's going on? Like express it. So if somebody keep things hidden, you find that very frustrating to you. You find that very complicated, and of course you may like overlash, but of course you don't be mad too long because your mind is an initiative. You have an initiative mind, so that means ideas and the way you think and communicate and the way you process information is on a rapid stream. So of course you find many ideas and many ways and many routes for you to basically sail towards when it's dealing with this perspective. So of course when you got Mercury and Aries, for me, that's dealing with a higher mind. That's dealing with a higher passionate mind. We all have higher minds. Some people may be vibrating high to accumulate these minds, accumulate this passion, accumulate this mental fire. And of course, it's all about where you direct this mental fire. For me, these good people for like politicians, these are people for like, arts and crafts, how they can express themselves, mentors, feel me? These are like high vibrational, motivational speakers for me, where people can pretty much assess the equation and be themselves and go out there and express themselves freely. Feel me? Get off their chest what they have to get off their chest, not beating around the bush, not holding on to things. I mean, just expressing everything that comes to mind and expressing the circumstance situation where they can present themselves on a stage, in person, no matter what the circumstance situation. And these people are not stage scary for me. They just get on stage, present themselves, push themselves, and of course, you can't really take that away from this person with a Mercury in Aries for me. Because whatever they got on their motherfucking mind is gonna come out for me. These ain't the type of people that they hold around and they try to like look at the other equation or how they're gonna express this shit. When they express this shit, they're gonna express this shit to you in a passionate way. You may feel very highly receptive to that situation or how they express themselves. But of course, this is how they gonna come at you for me. So at the end of the day, you either gonna be prepared for this shit, or you need to pretty much get in your space and location where you can be able to actually communicate with these people and find ways where you can deal with fire on a day-to-day basis. Especially either if you're in a relationship with this person, or if you just work with this person, or if y'all in a group together. This is just something that you're gonna have to like pretty much get accustomed to. Feel me? But it's of course it's all love though. It ain't no shit where well, depending on the other alignments, it could be egotistical or narcissist and things of that nature. But of course, it can play out to higher magnitudes with this position. But yeah, that's a Mercury in Aries for you though.